Good afternoon. Yes, it is good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Savva Talk Spurs. I am joined once again, who seems to be my Friday afternoon guest each week, Marlon from Hotspur Hood and from a view from the South Stand. How are you, sir? You well?
I am good. I'm good. It's been a pleasant week, put it that way. Due to the goodness, it's been a great week.
It has indeed, hasn't it? I mean, it just completely. Look, I always thought, Marlon, this was going to go to the last day, but I just didn't think it was going to go to the last day with them just ending so badly.
It's I'm still in a bit of shock, like, to be honest. But you know, when you look at the game on Thursday, it just took it out of them against Newcastle. See, the problem is, I couldn't watch the game on Monday because, as I've told many people, and I keep saying this to people, I'm Arsenal's lucky charm. So whenever I watch whenever I watch them on TV from start to finish, they always win, right? So and a lot of people in my family know this, and a lot of my friends know this. So I said, because of what was riding on the game, I went. A lot of people said, please. A lot of my Spurs fans said, don't watch it because we know exactly what's going to happen if you watch it. So I couldn't watch it. So I've missed half of it and had to watch the highlights back because of exactly of that. Like, I don't think I've watched them on Monday Night Football all season, and they haven't won one of them. So,
mate, it's just mad, isn't it? I mean, I feel in two ways about it. I mean, just quickly before we jump in, let me just say, first of all, Paul, thank you very much for sorting out my thumbnails. It is much appreciated. And click on Paul, speak to Paul, get his Instagram name so that you can all go and follow him. He works wonders with the thumbnails, so thank you very much for that, sir. Hello to everyone else in the comments. Feel free to get your any questions in. As you know, I don't like to go in with too much of an agenda because, you know, I want to talk about what you guys want to talk about. But Marlon, I think the funny thing for me is I feel great that we are on the verge, and you'll never get me saying it's 100% done. But I feel great that we're on the verge of what I consider top four to be a platform. I don't see it as this raring success that everyone sees it as. I see it as a platform. But I then look at it and go, how were we pushed so close by this dreadful Arsenal team?
See, the thing is how, and I look at it slightly different. I go, Arsenal, out of us, United, and West Ham, have had the best season of their life with this squad. Where us, West Ham, and United, let's be honest, none of us will turn over trees and say our season's been great. If West Ham didn't have the Europa League, let's be honest, West Ham fans would be looking at the season going, how have we dropped points here? How have we, not won here? So actually, Arsenal, for me, and looking at their squad, have hit their ceiling. And in any other season, Arsenal would be nowhere near all of us. And that's how we got to look at it. And it's just seeing how their fans are reacting to, you just look at that defeat against Newcastle, a bang average Newcastle side that we managed to, let's be honest, batter at home. But we didn't just beat them, we battered them at home. I know going to Newcastle is different, but there was something on the line for them, and they still couldn't turn up and do it. You know? So, and that's how you got to look at it. Our season has been inconsistent. Yes, Conte, for me, has done a great job to try and get it back on track because how it started with Nuno, because Nuno was very inconsistent with it, because let's be honest, he won 5, lost 5. But it's a case of we've got to, Levy's got to look at Conte and what he has done, and we've got to go out and get a Champions League squad.
Yes.
Not a Europa League squad, a Champions League squad.
Yeah. Well, look, we're going to come on to that in a bit. So, I definitely want to talk about the difference in what our window is going to be depending on Sunday. And that's why it's so huge.
Huge.
But before we go into that, I mean, for me, when I look at Arsenal, don't get me wrong, I look at some of their players and think, I'd love to have some of their players in our squad. I'd love a Saka. I'd love.
I'm not convinced by Saka, to be honest.
Oh, really?
I'm really not convinced by Saka, and I think and I've said this to a lot of my Arsenal friends as well. I said, in about 5 years, none of us all we're going to remember Saka for is missing the penalty. I don't think he's going to achieve, especially playing in the forward position. I think he's going to be another Dele Alli for me. where he will suddenly disappear. And a lot of people go, but I look at the games like Monday he played okay, but he wasn't their best player, and he hasn't been their best player all season. He's been okay, and that's all it's been. Now, if he was in a Spurs shirt, a lot of our Spurs fans will be going, no, he's not consistent enough. He doesn't pull down trees. Yeah, he's in a forward thing. And this is Arsenal at their best, and he's been okay. So for me, I get what Arsenal fans are saying, but he's the best out of a bad bunch. And I think that's the issue. Put him in a good team. I reckon we'll see something different personally.
Yeah, look, absolutely. There's definitely a case for that. I think for me, again, what I'm looking at, mate, is more about if I look at us needing a squad. And I tell you what, the more I have conversations with people, the more I realise that football fans, not you, saying lots of football fans, they seem to talk about. They seem to talk a lot about. Oh, well, would we want this player? He wouldn't get into our 11. And we wouldn't want this player because he wouldn't sit on a bench. Whichever way you want to look at it. For me, I just feel that we've got to get to the stage now where we build this squad so that it is that.
Yeah.
That it's a squad, not a team. So listen, I'm not saying Saka per se, but I see a lot of names we're mentioned with, and we'll come to this a bit later because it's silly season now, isn't it? It's oh my God, Spurs have got Champions League nearly. Right, let's link them with every player across Europe. And fans love it because people like, nothing against him, but people like Alistair Gold, people like that, they'll go, I understand it, that Spurs are looking at these 7 strikers and fans go, oh my God, Ali Gold said we are looking at Lautaro Martinez, Isaac, we're looking at Gabriel Jesus and Watkins and this and that. And I think to myself, first of all, let's be really honest. Alistair Gold has no way of knowing who Tottenham's striker targets are, right?
No.
And second of all, last point, Marlon. Second of all, right, this is Daniel Levy in charge. Right. So this leads me on to my question to you, right? This is Daniel Levy in charge. And I'm seeing that we're going to buy Bastoni at 40 million. We're going to buy John McGinn at 40 million. We're going to buy Maddison at 80 million. And we're going to buy Lautaro Martinez at 70 million. And we want it's as though all of a sudden fans have forgotten the way we operate as a club. So let's talk about that now. Let's talk about the squad and what we need. Do you think this window we're going to see big signings, or do you think they're going to be clever signings, which are very different?
So I personally think we're going to be signing, it's going to be clever signings. And it needs to be clever signings at the end of the day, because we don't want to be spending most of our budget on one player. And now in Spurs, we'll look at Ndombele for talking purposes. And he completely doesn't settle. He completely can't play in the systems. And he completely doesn't, fulfill his potential, as they say, because we can see there's a good player there, but actually his mentality and everything, it just always seems to be a problem with Spurs with big signings. Now, if you gave me a Bentancur and Kulu, where I look at them, and Romero, which were clever signings, even though, let's be honest, everyone kind of knew about Romero in the first place, so it wasn't a case of Spurs found him in a diamond in the rough, but it was more a case of at least we got it over the line with him. So it needs to be very clever. And if we're not clever about it, we're going to be back in the same situation where we're trying to get rid of the Lacelsos and all them type of players. So if it's not clever, we're going to struggle. But I always find that with Conte, his signings are clever. When you look at Inter Milan, and the only time he really spent big was on Lukaku, and he had no choice. Lukaku was the only available striker in Europe that could score goals, probably in that sort of league that they could afford. And in the end, when he put Martinez and Lukaku up front as well, that could really help Lukaku push forward from what I saw of Inter when he had them both. But going back to Alistair Gold, I like him, but I've kind of lost faith with him. If you look at the whole manager saga last summer, he had no clue. For me, it's kind of, if it's a player that's going to be literally going over the line in the next hour or so, he'll know. But if it's any rumours, I kind of step back from it and go, okay, maybe it's not true. His intel seems to have gone a bit inside the club, and that manager saga, he didn't have a clue in the end. And he was.
Do you know what, Marlon? I think it's this is the thing for me. I think it's okay, right? It's okay to not know.
Yeah.
And it's okay to speculate. What makes me laugh is I see people like Chris Cowling, Alistair Gold, and they'll put out definites.
Yeah.
It's Spurs are looking at buying this. It's like, well, no, you don't know that. Because if we were to believe every report, this week, I think I've seen Bastoni's the name that keeps getting thrown around as the obvious left-footed centre-back, plays for Inter Milan, knows Conte. It's the no-brainer of a link.
Yeah.
I keep seeing Kostic. So far we're buying Kostic and Bastoni, right? And now I'm seeing that we're linked with Nathan Ake. We're linked with Sam Johnson in goal. Jed Spence is going to be our right wing back. We're buying Lautaro Martinez, right? We're buying John McGinn. We're buying James. And this is why when I get to these windows and people go, oh my God, we're buying this player. I don't believe any of it until I see them holding a Spurs shirt in a press conference. So the question I want to ask you is, yes, we need clever signings. We've agreed on that. And yes, Conte is going to be your guy that's going to get you clever signings. But will Daniel Levy allow for that? Now, you know me. I'm a huge critic of Daniel Levy. I don't like him.
Oh,
right? I know. Marmite, whatever. Yeah. But for me, what we need to see now is all of those clever signings. What I don't want to see this window is more Brian Hills coming.
Yeah.
More Papa Sars, Gallinis, Emerson Royals, and Kudu, Fazio, Clark, Sessegnon, Lascelles, on and on and on and on. Are we going to see that? Because I've got this horrible feeling, maybe the negative part of my brain going, I think we'll see 3 signings that will be, that's good. And then the other 3 will be players that our fans pretend they know and are generational. Where do you sit with that?
So I actually agree with what you say regarding we'll probably make 3 that are genuine top, but I think we'll still, let's be honest, Levy's not going to change his mentality overnight. It's going to happen. We are probably going to see 2 or 3 players for the future. And it's one of them. You never know. It could actually turn out to be a good one. But we just don't know. And I think it's going to be that happy in-between stage with the summer signings this year, where if he can get 4 first-team players, not bench players, first-team players. And then if there are 2, young players that come in later on, once we've established the first team, then I'm okay with that. Because one of the best windows that we had was when we signed Trippier, Alderweireld, and I can't remember who else that summer, but everything was done early. I think we ended up making 1 signing at the end. But look how we ended that season. We actually done so well. So for me, I don't want to sit there. I think Levy has changed slightly. And you only have to look at January and the outgoings and the Dele Alli situation. He kept on to that man, and you could see it in the documentary. He loved Dele Alli. He absolutely loved him. And actually, Dele Alli probably fulfilled his potential last night when he came on for once. But he kept hold of him. But for him to actually get rid of him for free was a massive statement. It
was. I mean, for me, that was more about Conte has clearly come in and gone, I don't want any of these players. Just before we go into that, let me just, I'm a big fan of getting people involved. So, Daryl Denton has said, you build the first 11, then in first team they drop down.
Totally agree.
Yes, absolutely. Ideally, though, I'll be honest, some of our 11 I wouldn't even want to see drop down. You know who I mean. Dave Raybold has said transfer rumour season is more like retweet chasing season. Ignore all of it until a player is holding that shirt. I agree. There's too many accounts now on things like Twitter and Instagram going, Spurs are after this. And I don't mind it, and it's good and it's exciting. And
it is exciting. I'll give you that. But
it's when everything is believed. And for me, I mean, I've just been watching Henry Wright's channel, so big up to Henry and Lee Gunner. And even then, I'm seeing fans get so overhyped by I'm seeing people talking about, well, let's bring in Ollie Watkins, Sam Johnson. Now, this for me isn't the window I want. But just in one word, yes or no? Are we taking Tony?
I like him. I just don't think he's at our level.
Okay, fair enough. We'll go on to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Zolo Golo, Savva, I just don't understand why you're not happy with top 4. It's comments like that that really make my day. I don't think I've ever said I'm not happy with top 4. I just, as I've said to you, fans nowadays see it as a success. I see it as a platform for us to go and grow and build. Yeah. I don't celebrate finishing with 3 teams above us. So let's just get some more comments out of the way. Lee from the Lane says, I think clever signings, just like Kulu and Bentancur. Big up to yourself, Liam. Bigging up all the time. Kulu. Savva, I don't like you being salty. I don't what does Marlon, what does that mean? What are these words? Why don't people speak English anymore? It's
the young generation, and they're coming out with words this, that, and the other. But to be honest, you've not been that salty. Look, at the end of the day, what you're looking at, and this is going back to his top 4 comment. We're happy to be in the top 4.
Yeah,
but we've been here before,
right?
And it's a case of once you get top 4, what do you do next? And it's always building on that. And you've got the season ticket holders. For me, I always feel sorry for. Well, I feel sorry for them to a certain extent because they're going to pay the money no matter what. But they're asking to be paid. They're paying for a premium price, but not seeing a premium price on the pitch.
Right.
And that's the big thing for me. And it's, as Spurs fans, we want to push on. We don't want to be getting top 4 every season. We've been for 4 or 5 years where we were Champions League constantly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to the final, but look what we had to risk to get to that final. We literally, Poch and the whole from January, we couldn't win away. We literally lost our soul. and that's the reason why Poch lost his job in the end. But
yeah, I think you're spot on. And this is the thing. A lot of people are now saying, Liam, I'll come back to that question in a minute. Actually, I'll answer that just now. I like James Tavernier. I just don't think because of his age, I can't see it being a signing that Tottenham make. I do like him, though. I think he's a good right wing back, takes a great penalty. I've got no issues with him. I think this is it, right? It's that difference between the older generation and the younger generation is growing up for us, 4th wasn't an achievement, right? No. And I still don't see it as that. But again, I'll say for me, it's a stepping stone. And Marlon was right with what he just said. We've seen it before and nothing came of it. We got excited before a number of times when we got top 4 and everyone kept talking about these world-class signings that were coming, and we just signed really average players. So for me, I start every summer, Marlon, by saying, I'll see where we are at the end of the summer. And Daniel Levy so far has never proved me wrong. So I'll see where we are at the end of this summer. Leah said no for Tony. Louis said, hey, lads, do you think we will turn up on Sunday and stroll through?
We'll answer that question later.
Yeah, that's the question.
We'll come back to that one.
Sam Johnson serves 2 purposes. He is free and homegrown, plus better than Galini. Yeah, look, I completely get it. I'm all over that. What I don't want to see, though, Coach Silver, is I don't want our first 3 signings to be Sam Johnson, Jed Spence, and someone like an Ollie Watkins, because that, for me, is just padding out the squad with more average footballers. That's not building a Champions League squad. Savva, we have to get a playmaker. True Blue, I'm with you. I've been calling for this since Ericsson went. We are lacking. Lee from the Lane saying we're at foundation level. Now it's time to get the bricks to add to the team, because let's be honest, most of the bricks in this team have eroded. Oh, I like that.
That's a very, very...
Have eroded.
Yeah.
Justin, Harry Kane is feeling unwell. He assessed ahead of the game Sunday, according to Alistair Gold. All right, okay, here we go again. I'm sure Kane will play. Even if he doesn't, Marlon, Norwich, one of the worst Premier League teams there's ever been statistically, we should rock up without Kane, right, and win.
Yeah, you just put Bergwijn on the left, Son up front. You'll probably play more anyway, but
yeah,
it should still not be a case of where we are struggling. If this is the team that wants to make Champions League next year, what happens when Kane's missing for a Barcelona, or not Barcelona, but a Real Madrid at home? What we're going to do? Go, we can't play. They have to against a Norwich before they start stepping into the Bernabeu and places like that. So they have to get on with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Marlon, what we're saying with John McGinn. Now, this is one I've seen a lot in the last few days, and he seems to be more Marmite than me. What's your opinions on John McGinn? And I'll tell you mine afterwards.
Good player for Villa, decent player for Villa. International level, he's not the shining light for Scotland. He's one of the best players, but he's not the Tierneys and the Robertsons. They seem to be the main guys. So then I got to look at international level, because then I start looking about European football, and they're quite similar. And if he's not doing it there, is he any better than, the Ollie Skip coming through? Are you going to stop Ollie Skip's progress for him again? Because obviously Bentancur is going to be, Bentancur's obviously going to be the number one midfielder, you're hoping. So it's whoever's going to play next to him. And we're more hoping for a playmaker more than another kind of defensive mid. Again, it's another squad player. We don't need squad players this summer. We've got them already playing. So we kind of first team is first. We need to improve on the positions we know we're weak at.
Do you know what? I mean, I'm coming at it from a slightly different angle. I think our central midfielders are that bad that I think we need another 2 or 3 even. Now, I'm not saying that's all going to happen in this window.
Yeah.
I look and say, from our 4 central midfielders at the club, then chuck in Lo Celso, Sarr and Ndombele. For me, the only one that is better than John McGinn at the moment is technically Bentancur. But from a Premier League proven player that has got a good engine, gets back, gets forward, likes to attack, for me, I don't think we have that type of player in our squad. So again, before everyone goes mad and shouts at me, I'm not saying get him in and he's your main man and plays in your 11 every week, but I would be happy with, okay, we've had a Champions League game. We've now got an easier game at home in the league. Right, now you circle out a player, John McGinn comes in. But horses for courses. Talk to me about Kostic, Marlon. What have you seen of him? Do you like him?
So to be honest, I only watched Frankfurt against Barcelona in the second leg. I watched them obviously against West Ham, and I saw him in the final. Probably a good addition. It's one of them. Under Conte, probably could be a very, very good player.
Yep.
Whether he wants to come to Spurs or not is now another question.
Yeah.
And depends on how much it's going to cost, because obviously Frankfurt, you've got to remember, in the Champions League next year. So it's not a case of that's what the difference is. It's going to be about money. And the stature of the club. So wouldn't be a bad signing. It's if we went and got him, would I be upset? No, because actually I'm looking at Reguilon and Cess, and he is probably a better option than those 2. So
okay, I definitely take him. So in terms of Tom Ripley has said, Levy made the ugliest girl in the class to one of the hottest. You are ungrateful. I mean, what an analogy. First and foremost, I think, Tom, could you reply and tell me how old you are? Because again, I think this is going to be a generational thing. You have to understand that when we're talking about Levy taking a club that was one of the ugliest girl in the class, to use your analogy, fans like me, we've seen success. So
you could also go back on that and go, when Levy took over, we were the 5th most successful club, 4th at the time.
Yeah.
He's taken over. We are now the 6th. So he's got the ugly girl, but the ugly girl's not being really that faithful to us. So
right. There we go.
Problem. She might be good on the arm, but she's not actually giving us what we need. We've made her brilliant, and we've made her good and good looking and everything, but her eyes are flirting with other people, and that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And I'm not avid Levy. I admit I like Enoch. I don't like Levy, but I don't like Levy for certain things he's done, and I'll never forgive him for Martin Yole. I think that just summed him up as a man to do that, and the way it came out the club, I will never forgive him for that. And
that's the moment I turned Marlon.
Yeah, and that's personal, because Martin Yole took a mid-season, we were mediocre, we were just average. He took us from nothing to getting to European football, but you don't treat a guy like that. You do not do that one bit. And every time it seems to go wrong, he always takes it out on the managers.
Yeah.
And that's
he's taking no blame.
and he's never taken no blame for what he's done. We're not saying that he's been completely rubbish, because at the end of the day, yes, he gave us Champions League football, but he didn't make us competitive in that competition. And that's what you need. That's the bit you need to understand, is that we got there and he's went, I'm happy with this.
Yeah, right. That's it for me. And look, the thing is as well for me, Marlon, with the Levy and Enoch conversation is, how long can the conversation be, oh, well, look where we are from when they took over? Because we were getting fourth place back in 2010, right? I think the first time we got was 2009, 2010 under Harry, right? Yeah. Harry Redknapp. So we're not doing anything now that we've not already done, right? So when fans are talking about, well, look what he's done for this club, it's like, okay, great. He got us Champions League. He got us to the point we had a really good team. And since then, we've just stayed there and started going backwards. So people can talk to me all they want about, look what he's done at our club. All I know is the first 20 years of me supporting Tottenham compared to the last 20 years, I celebrated trophies. I celebrated world-class players. Now I'm celebrating fans getting excited at top four and buying Jed Spence and Sam Johnston. So anyway, let's move on before we go down that rabbit hole. Let's have a look. The lack of playmaker is a huge reason why we struggle against low blocks, just like the first half of Burnley. Absolutely. We should beat Norwich, but we are Tottenham. I think that's always in the back of your mind.
The only difference this time is Conte is not going to accept it. I really wish Chelsea had lost last night, just due to the fact, if there was an incentive to the fact that we could finish third, unless we win 15-0,
Yeah.
But if there was an incentive for us to finish third, I think Conte would have in their mindset, actually, it's about finishing third. Forget trying to finish fourth. Don't care what's happening behind you. Let's aim to finish third. So for me, Conte is a massive factor. Yes, I know, the last probably month or so, and that includes the Brighton and Brentford games, we've seen a sudden change in that squad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And those two games, like Brentford, we could have lost, but we come out of it with 0-0. And Brighton, it was a terrible performance and everything like that, but we didn't dwell on it. And that's the difference. Spurs usually would have dwelled on that, a bit like Arsenal did on Monday, and would have completely. So the only thing that's in my mind right now, and especially like Burnley on Sunday, you look at it and it weren't, on the eye, it wasn't pretty, but Pope got man of the match.
Yeah.
We had quite a few chances. I think we had 21 attempts on goal. So it wasn't as bad. It just wasn't pretty. And
I think that's the difference, though. When I watch Spurs, I think we're very, very good with fast transitional play, moving from back to front. In terms of, I think, Champions League football, we're going to need to see a little bit more of controlled possession, slowing the game down, how to unlock. Because people talk about how bad European leagues are, but when you actually watch a lot of these teams defend, they actually have a better unit than what we do with the kind of rush, the push and rush in the Premier League. But just quickly on this, Son nominated for PFS. Keen to your thoughts, boys. Foden, Gallagher and Rice. So I haven't seen this. If this has just happened, does this mean anything to you, Marlon?
No, I haven't seen this. So no.
So, okay, Bone Start, could you just let us know? Okay, nominated for PFA Player of the Year. So that's the player voted for by the other players or by the... Yes, right.
Well, the writers chose Salah, didn't they? They've already done this.
Right.
So he must be the short list has gone down.
So what I would say is with this, look, again, without me apparently having an agenda against Heung-min Son, if players are picked, I'm not naming the players here, but if players are picked over another player by the other players who play against them week in, week out, then sometimes as fans, we just have to go, right, okay.
To be honest, I thought Son was nominated. Just adding to that, I thought he was nominated. So we might need to check that. But carry on.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Can we check that? I'm going off facts from the crowd. Breaking news again. Kane is unwell. Okay, I'm not worried. If Spurs can't beat Norwich without Harry Kane, then we should not be thinking about a Champions League season next year. We don't need Kane to win for sure. Coach Silver, you misunderstood my point about Johnston. As he's a free and will be in demand and we need number 2, I expect Conte to be back. No, I don't miss your point. I get it. I completely get it. I'm not against Sam Johnston being our number 2 and our backup. What I'm saying is at the moment, I'm hearing that Johnston and Spence are nearly done. And again, that's fine. But as a fan of a club who has dreaming of Champions League, right? Talking about having the best stadium in the world, the best director of football and the best manager, those type of signings don't make me go, oh, we mean business. They make me go, all right, we could well not be in Europe and sign those players.
That's a very good point. No, that's a very good point. Just to add to that, we like the signings we want to be making are, if we're going to make Champions League signings. Jed Spence and Sam Johnston are going to come to us whether we were 8th, 10th, 14th, and stuff like that. And they're great. You know, Jed Spence could be one for the future, but again, we're not wanting to sign future. He could be a good squad right back. And Sam Johnston, we know the reasons behind it. There's no, he's not going to come in and take Lloris's spot because he's not even better than what Lloris is now. It's just a case of, if it comes down to that, we've signed 3 players and they're squad players, and you're getting later and later on into the window and into the season, you want to be making sure they're not the 3 that we go as marquee signings, and we're just left with that. And I think that's the point you're making. Absolutely.
You just put it a lot better than I did. Tom Ripley, come on, Spurs whenever that's successful. Tom, again, how old are you? Listen, I'm not here to give Spurs fans a history lesson about our club. If you don't think we were ever a successful team, then it tells me you're not really a Spurs fan. So,
6th most successful club in the country right now. Still, just remember that 6.
Yeah.
So if there's only 4 clubs that are in the country, then why are we playing in the Premier League? Always. This is what I always say to Gooners as well, right? No matter how you want to put it, with Manchester City and Chelsea, without the money, we're not above us in the honours list. We are the 6th most successful club in the country, and that's what everyone needs to remember. That even though Spurs might not be this big name that everyone wants, and everyone wants to do us with, you ain't won no trophies, you have to go learn your history, and that's the biggest thing. Got to,
mate. I had people the other day telling me that Gaza, who cares? It was like, what?
I did watch that, and I was sitting there going, please don't. Gaza was the reason why I started to enjoy watching football, right? And when I met him, I was like a little schoolgirl, like literally going, "Oh my god, it's Gaza!" And I was so nervous when I met him. That is how that man, when I was a young boy, to see him take that free kick against Arsenal, he gave me one of the best moments, and he's the reason why I'm still a football fan and a Spurs fan. So,
absolutely. Literally. And I'll tell you what, do you know how I always round off with when these younger fans tell me about our history? I'll always round off with this before I move on to the next point. 21 years with Levy and Enoch, 1 League Cup. The 21 years before Levy and Enoch, 2 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, and a European Cup. So please don't tell me we weren't successful. That was 5 trophies in 20 years, right? So a trophy every 4 years. At the moment, we're averaging a trophy 1 every 21 years. So please don't tell me we were never that good. Quickly get some of these comments out of the way. Lee from the Lane, just check Twitter and our fans on there are having a meltdown. It's pathetic. Kane will play. We have Conte and the mentality to get over the line. And it's Norwich. It's Norwich. They're like the whipping boys of the league. West Ham went there and won, was it 4-0?
Yeah.
And they've got Antonio up front, right? We have to replace Royal. Interest from La Liga teams. Please. He cannot cross to save his life. Can I finish that sentence for you, True Blue? He cannot cross to save his life. He cannot pass to save his life. He cannot defend to save his life. He can't head a ball to save his life.
A bit harsh, really.
I hate him.
Yeah. No, I know you do. But
it's embarrassing.
I'm one of them at the moment where I'm like, he's been okay. A lot of people thought he'd cost us Champions League. He still could, not saying he couldn't. But when people were talking about putting the likes of Lucas and Bergwijn and everyone else at right back, let's be honest, he played against City twice and he played against Liverpool twice, and he wasn't our worst player on those days. And it's when we've got the ball is his biggest problem. I completely get
but that's the thing for me. Look, Marlon, right? That's look. back in the olden days, you could say that, right?
Yeah.
When everyone played a back four, you could say that. But we now play a formation where our wing backs are fundamental to our success,
and that's what I agree with. And this is where I go. This is where Royale can't play with us because
he is one of the worst players I've seen in a Spurs shirt for 40 years.
Come on, there's worse than him.
Honestly,
come on.
I said to someone yesterday, if he was playing at the bottom of my garden, I'd draw the curtains. I can't stand him as a footballer.
We've had Andy Booth, Raziak, players like that have been that worse than him.
He's as bad.
Come on.
Marlon, this guy can't pass the ball 5 yards without it being a hospital pass.
I totally agree with that, and that's. But like when people say he's the worst player, like when you go through our history again, like Toda as well, another one that was worse than him. Timothy Atuba. There's all players like that.
I think he's as bad as these players. He is dreadful. He is. I go down and watch Dartford play every other weekend. Right, in the National South, and their right back is composed on the ball compared to this. But anyway, I'm not getting into a royal debate. Tyler Redeloff, this Savva guy hates on this Spurs squad. It is unreal. And bro, top four is our trophy. That's where I cut off listening to you. Top four is your trophy. That tells you what's happened to Spurs fans. Big up Henry has said, yeah, Son is nominated. Yeah, we're getting lots of people saying he's nominated for PFA, but he's not nominated for the Premier League, blah, blah, blah. Lee from the Lane said, of course we need to stop this narrative in our fan base of Spursy. It starts from us as a fan base. No, I don't believe that. The Spursy narrative has started because we are always Spursy. For me, sorry. I know we always see eye to eye, Lee, but not on this one. Henry Wright TV, he isn't nominated in the six-man shortlist. Who confirmed that picture was fake? Oh, I like this. Here you go. AV Troops. Even Alex Ferguson also told Gaza was the best English player ever, along with Sir Bobby Charlton. Look, AV Troops, let's put it this way. If there's any
go watch your other stream, yeah. Go watch your other stream and then you will understand where this conversation came from.
Yeah, we had fans saying, oh, nostalgia. Who cares about Bill Nicholson? Who cares about Hoddle and Gaza? And they're not Spurs fans. Here you go. I love this. Savva, I like you, bro. Thank you. I like you too. But why do you Spurs compare yourselves to Arsenal, that is historically the third biggest club in England and won loads of trophies? How are you more attractive? Rolo, first and foremost, I haven't compared us to Arsenal. If ever I'm talking about Arsenal, I'll talk about the season we're in. I'm not talking about historically. Because, yes, you are a much bigger club. And Spurs fans will hate me for saying that, Marlon. But Arsenal have won multiple league titles, multiple cups since we've even last won a trophy. So I don't know where that's come from. I mean, what do you think of that, Marlon?
No, the thing is, if we're comparing, Spurs and Arsenal are going to always compare themselves to now, like you said. We're not going to compare ourselves to Arsenal as a history, because when it comes to trophies, we can't deny the fact Arsenal have more. But when it comes to European trophies, obviously we have more, right?
True.
It's just one of them things that right now, if you looked at it and when, as a player, are you going to go work for Arteta or are you going to go work for Conte? You're probably, and that's all the difference is between Spurs and Arsenal right now is Conte and Arteta. And if you looked at it, even if Arsenal made Champions League and we went fifth and you was a top player and you had the choice between Spurs and Arsenal right now, unless you was a striker, obviously, and you went in 2 years' time, who's more likely to be further forward? And that's the thing. Even if Spurs made fifth, I'm looking at Arsenal going, they spent 100 and odd million in the summer and they've still struggled. They've just been the best out of all the crap teams, like I said earlier. And that's the difference. But we'll never compare ourselves to Arsenal with trophies, only as a fan base, because we think we're better than them.
It's half of it is banter. I think the difficulty is, as we talked about last time, Marlon, tribalism is... for me, tribalism is the blocker to reality. Now, I just came up with that off the top of my head. But what I mean by that is fans cannot accept the truth because it's their own team, right? So if somebody just dropped you onto earth and you didn't support a single team and you started watching all players and stuff, you'd never go, oh my God, I love this player more than any other in the world because it's my team. You'd say, I love this player because he's a good player. But what we don't seem to be able to do is we don't be able to seem as a fan base, and any fan base, by the way, to be objective about our own players versus others. So what I mean by that, Marlon, is let's take, and because Dave Raybon has mentioned Royal, if Emerson Royal, for example, played for them lot down the road, and I'm serious about this, right? If he played for them lot down the road, we would be going, oh my God, how bad is their right back? But because he plays for Spurs, we forget that he can't pass, right?
And I'm one of them. I totally agree. It's literally because he plays for Spurs, and I totally agree.
Right.
If he never plays for Spurs, yeah.
We do this all the time. It's, oh my God, like Ben White is crap, but Eric Dyer is amazing. No, let's have a little bit of, let's have some reality there. It's somewhere in the middle. And Emerson Royal is the worst player I've seen in 40 years too. Thank you, Dave. He is awful. We've had some crap, but every bad player you list as bad for Spurs as are head and shoulders above Royal. I honestly think he is dreadful. The thing is, for me, I keep hearing that, the last 3 games he's played well. Now, when I watched...
I know what you're going to say.
when I watch the games back, right? Yeah. I actually watch the games back. And fans like? They like the passion. They like the emotion. They like the beating chest. And he might make a tackle and fall on the floor and everyone goes, wow. But if you strip that back again, take your Spurs hat off and watch... Okay, when he gets the ball, what does he do? He cuts inside, passes 5 yards because he's not very good.
Yeah.
Can he take a man on? No. Is his crossing good? No. Does he? But this is the thing. But because he's Tottenham, Marlon, our fans don't want to admit it. I don't want him anywhere near our club.
The thing is, where I am with him, if he wasn't in a Spurs shirt, I always try and give players time. I've always given players time. And for me, it's kind of, he's been here for a year. I know how bad he is going forward. I can see it. I have eyes. But I'm not willing to throw him completely under the bus yet. But if it came down to, would I replace him in the summer? Yeah, I would. I'd bite your hand off. If I was to cocaine in, I'd go, yeah, take him. Because I know full well that we can do better.
But Marlon, do you know what it stinks of to me? For me, it's not about thrown under the bus. It's about mentality for me. Yeah. And I'm getting the vibes with him, the same vibes that I got with Ndombele, the same vibes that I got with Aurier and Fazio and these players, Lo Celso, the players that come in and our fans go, give them time. And I'm looking going, but when Son came in and didn't hit the ground running, you could see his ability. It just wasn't working. I'm watching Royal and going, I just don't see.
So I actually agree with what you're about to say. And actually, you can tell within the first 5-6 games if someone's going to be good. And Son was one of them. I think the only player that's probably surprised us all because we could see the ability was Ndombele. Because actually, there was ability there. But we just didn't see what was going to go on after that. But with the rest of them, you can kind of see after 4 or 5 games if they're going to be good. Like with Cooley, when everyone wrote him off after the first game, and I was like, hold on. He's literally just played the first game he has in probably weeks, and you're expecting him to be class.
Yeah.
Playing in a new team. Where Benton Cole looks more comfortable, and you thought, okay, he looks like a good signing. But Cooley's probably been a godsend. And everyone, all them tweets that you saw after that Brighton game, I bet a lot of people had to wind their neck back in and go, I got that one wrong.
Yeah, but this is the thing. And for me, everything's too sensational, right? So like, again, I don't want to pick on Royal because I put Cess in the same bucket. You know I do.
Yeah, we had this conversation last week. Yeah.
I can't keep watching these players who, there was a situation last week. The ball came over and Sessegnon just ran into the back of the winger. And I thought, what are you doing? Like, there's no brain there. I get the same with Tanganga. It's the same thing that I get with Harry Winks. It feels like there's no brain there. There's no engagement.
So this is the big thing because Harry Winks is a prime example of someone who has all the talent in the world but no football brain. And there's a difference there because I see Kulu, he doesn't have the pace, but he has a football brain to make sure that his attributes get him the best out of his game. And because I look at Harry Winks, and you know Harry Winks is a tidy footballer. He is a tidy footballer, but actually, when it comes to having a football brain, when he's just going to put it sideways and he's not taking that chance, and let's be honest, his passing range is very good when he wants to produce it. He doesn't produce it very often.
Yeah,
you look at the Real Madrid game where he played that lovely ball over the top, but that was probably the only pass he played forward in probably 3 months.
Yeah,
and this is the thing. Like you can be a great footballer, but if you don't have a football brain, like Harry Kane's a prime example of who's got a footballer brain, right? If you don't have a footballer's brain, you're not gonna make it at the top level.
Absolutely agreed. Let's just quickly go through some more of these comments. Tom Ripley, Levy plays the long game, and in the old days there were no Chelsea sitting in Newcastle. I hate to break it to you, but again, you're showing your age. First and foremost, back in the day, there's always been teams that would spend money. Yes.
Blackburn.
Yes. Right. So yes, it's relative to the era. Of course, in bygone eras, there weren't hundreds of millions of pounds being spent every window. But in bygone eras, there were still teams at the top, like you mentioned there, when Blackburn spent the most money. Yeah. When Man United used to spend the most money. Liverpool throughout the 80s.
Arsenal did it as well.
Arsenal did it. So let's go back to the Levy plays the long game. I had these conversations when I was on Twitter a decade ago, and people would go, he's only been here a decade, he's playing the long game. You'll see our project in the next 5 years. Then when it got to 15 years, we're still in the project. Okay, so now we're at 21 years. What's long game? Because we're talking about I'm 40 this year. And that means that for half of my life, we've been in a project under Levy. And for half of my life, all my other mates are seeing their teams win things. I'm meant to be ungrateful because of my mercurial chairman. And I'm meant to be grateful for pints that fill up from the bottom, Spurs shirts that are 120 quid, the most expensive tickets in world football, £5 or whatever it is for a sausage. Sorry, no. It's not a long game. It's a game that isn't designed for success.
Yeah. And you always hear the case of, it's going to be successful. He's building a successful club to be successful in the future. And that's correct. He has done. The problem is that he also hinders what we do because of how much he gets involved in football. And I'm going to sit there and say, I wouldn't tell him how to run the business, but he shouldn't be telling people how to play on the pitch. And that's always been, when you look at every manager that's come out of Spurs, they've always gone, Levy just got involved way too much. And I think Andre Villas-Boas was the prime example of I think he wanted Shivu and someone else, and he never got them. And then he got sacked how many months later because they gave him players he didn't want. And at the end of the day, the same thing happened with Mourinho. He didn't want Rodon.
Yeah.
He didn't want Rodon. He identified the defender, and he ended up getting Rodon. And you wonder why it all collapsed in the end.
This is absolutely it. This is absolutely it. Look, let's just quickly go through a few posts. So Paul said Aaron's over Emerson. I don't want either of them at the club. I'll be honest, Paul. Again, I think I don't want a big debate on this, but I just want to quickly make a point and then move on. I feel that our fans are confused. They constantly talk about wanting to challenge and wanting to be in Champions League, but then whenever we talk about players to bring in, we keep bringing up average footballers. I don't understand. Dave Robert, I was crying for Aurier to come back when I first saw Emerson. Me too, and I hated Aurier as well. Paul, me versus Emerson Royal. Yeah, I agree. PB and Jam, my thoughts exactly. I hated Aurier, but at least he had some positives in his game. I agree. He just didn't have a brain. He wanted to leave anyway. Let's have a look. He and Ndombele probably didn't like the fact that we sold Aurier and Sissoko because he was friends with them. That's why he wanted to leave. He just never did it for me. Here's a good one. And we talked about this the other day, Marlon. Why does everyone rate Cess? I think he's awful. On Spurs Reddit, they gas him up. True Blue 849. I watch Ryan Sessegnon and I just think to myself, this club has no ambition. I do. He's not good at anything. He's not good at anything. He's another one that is playing because he's got a left foot.
Big problem with Cess is that actually, when you look at it, let's go back to his first game against Bayern Munich when he had a bit of confidence. Just come from Fulham. He doesn't know where the back of the net is, but he doesn't know where it is at left back. He's just not a left back, and he's not good enough to take Son's place or Bergwijn. He's not. Let's be honest. He's probably not. He's probably, again, he's a championship player who got a big move to a Premier League side, and it's just he's got to be a bit more clever about what he does. And I was having a debate about Mitrovic and Pukki are exactly the same. They're too good for the championship, but they're not good enough for the Premier League. And like people go, Mitrovic didn't get much of a chance, but he wasn't producing that much for Fulham when they first came up. He wasn't great for Newcastle. But if they were to go to a French side, a mid-table French side, or a mid-table La Liga side, they'd probably do well. But the Premier League is a different animal, and that's probably what it is. Cess.
I feel with players like that, I do feel sorry for them, because it's really difficult when players like Mitrovic and Pukki, who score a ton of goals in the Championship, come up. Then they're always going to be playing for one of the bottom 3 or 4 teams in the Premier League that don't have a lot of chances, etc. What would be interesting to me would be, okay, what if a Mitrovic played for Liverpool? And don't get me wrong, before anyone has a go, I'm not saying Liverpool should sign him. I'm just saying, if you had a player like Mitrovic in even Aston Villa, right, a Leicester, I'd be interested to see, rather than when these players are playing in teams that defend for their lives. Yeah. But then again, the sensible part of me says, well, there's a reason that they're at those clubs. Yeah. So, Coach Silver said, before my spinal injury, I used to coach at district level and took my Thurrock girls to Dartford. Great pitch and ground. Sorry to hear about your injury. And the Dartford pitch and ground is lovely. It's a really, really nice pitch, really nice little ground. And you see better players than Cess and Royal there. Savva, I'm worried. What are the chances of this BS coming out?
I think he's probably talking about the Kane stuff.
I'm not. Again, if we don't beat Norwich without Kane, we don't deserve Champions League. It would serve us right for not buying another striker for the last 15 million years. Party after party. Big up, Savva and guest. Are you going to be nice today? Party after party. Sometimes you like to have a go, don't you? Let's have a look. True Blue Spurs said, Savva, have you heard that Kane's sick? Yes, we have. I repeat what I just said. Nah. Without Levy, we would be fucked, and with all the oil on in the Premier League, just apologise to him. Oh, yeah, sorry, Daniel. Sorry that you charge me how much? Okay. Don't think so, mate. Guys, who do you think will be relegated, Leeds or Burnley? Marlon, let's go. It's not Spurs, but who are we going with?
I'm sorry, and I kind of should apologise, but I want Burnley gone.
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay. So let's look at this. So if we look at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Leeds are going down as it stands. They're on the same amount of points. And let's be fair, Leeds won't be able to stay up on goal difference because they've conceded 78 goals. Now, if we look at their 2 fixtures this weekend, Marlon, it doesn't get any better for them. Leeds are away at Brentford, who are in good form. They're a good team and playing well. Now, Burnley are home to Newcastle. Now, I've got a feeling that I can't see Leeds beating Brentford.
I could.
Yeah, okay.
I could see him because Brentford, okay. I know Brentford had the Player of the Season awards this week, so they're kind of on the beach now and going, season's done. And Burnley, Leeds could probably pull it around. If I know they probably won't, but I could see Leeds pulling off something. The Burnley Newcastle one, I think after Monday, I think Newcastle are done. I can't see. I think even Eddie Howe's going to be like, I've got Monday out of the way, final home game, everything's done. And Burnley have played well the last couple of games, and that's probably what's going to get them. I think
over the line.
Burnley are more. Oh, yeah, I think Burnley will get over the line. But if I wanted one of the two to go down,
it would be Burnley.
Yeah, even though we have a great record against Burnley, and Ash was like, I think we've lost it twice or three times in the whole time they've been in the Premier League, and we've won.
I tell you what, I find funny about it, Marlon, is I know when they sacked Bielsa, I remember me and some of the boys in my WhatsApp chat, we were like, why would you bring in a manager like Jesse March now? Like, I get it. If you're going to bring them in the summer and give them a whole summer transfer window to bring over their ideas, you're bringing over a bloke who's not really done anything anywhere, never managed in the Premier League, and you've chucked him straight into a relegation battle when your top striker, one of your only striker, is injured. I think that was really poor from Leeds owners. Now, if they stay up, they'll be able to go, well, no, it wasn't that we stayed up. If they go down, for me, they've got to have a real look at, well, did they want to go down? Did they think, okay, well, Marsh can rebuild? I don't know.
It's a confusing one, but yeah.
Let's have a look. What else have we got here? Yeah, Daryl, I agree with you. Words like project rebuilds are just made up words for failure, but it buys you time.
Daryl, you're one of my favourites. I love you in the chat. You're one of my favourites.
It's so true because, I mean, what are we in? A 21-year project? I mean, it's like 21 years of failure. Phil Foden, if it is you, well done, Phil. Good, great season. Very happy that Conte's getting top 4. Yeah, if we get over the line, of course. Yeah, platform, stepping stone. Tottenham should look at Spence. I've got no problem with Spence coming in. I want to know who else is coming in as our right wing back. Alistair is reporting Kane is feeling unwell. Alistair Gold. Okay, Nelson Roberts. Savva, I like you, bro. Lots of people saying they like me. I'm not used to hearing this, Marlon. It's nice. The next step is Levy to back Conte, give him the funds, and let's go compete with Chelsea. They're flattering, or I think you mean faltering now. Okay. Let's talk about that quickly if you've got time, Marlon, because I know you've got a meeting soon.
Yeah, got 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I'll stay on for a little bit after if anyone wants to stay on. Chelsea, I think, look, this was always going to be difficult from the moment that we knew that all the stuff going on with Russia and Ukraine and selling the club. I think, obviously, you know, the players, the minds aren't in it. They know they can't win the league. They're not in the Champions League. I think this will get sorted. They will get new owners that pump money in, and I don't think that they're going to implode like I think a lot of fans want them to.
So the only thing I probably disagree with you on, so everything I agree, apart from I don't think the new owners are going to pump the amount of money that Chelsea had seen before. I still think there'll be money to spend. I still think they'll be able to compete with the Tottenhams, the Liverpools and stuff like that. But whether they can compete with the Cities and Newcastles, I think it's going to be they can't just sit there and put £50 million down for a player they want and get them. I think they're going to be a bit more clever, especially if it's American owners. They're seeing this Premier League money, and that's what they're coming in for. They know they're going to recoup most of that money. So I think Chelsea are just going to have to be a bit more clever in what they do. But it's not a case of they're going to implode and they're not going to be signing anybody. I just think it's going to be a case of the money that's available is not going to be the money that was there before. And that's the only difference. But they will still be able to compete with Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, and us lot, because that's the money they're now relying on.
Yeah, perfect. You need to go, don't you, Marlon?
Yeah, I need to go.
But listen, I'm going to stay on for half an hour. Marlon, listen, as always, mate, thank you for bringing sensibility to the conversation. Let's chat soon, and I'll speak to you soon, all right?
Yeah, and then just for anybody, please like and subscribe to Savva's channel. It's a brilliant channel, and he'll get you thinking, and as you can see, you'll get some love, some hate. And if you ever want to just see, I do match day reactions as well. You can either catch me on the Hotspur Hood, or if you just want to see my stuff, you can catch me, as you can see in the title, with View from the South Stand. Please come and subscribe as well if you can. It will really help me out as well. But please, stay with Savva. He's a good guy, and try and get your subscribers up. Get him out there, because this is a great channel to be on. Sav,
guys, like and subscribe to people like me and Marlon. I know whether you like or hate us, we put this content on. It takes hours of preparation and taking time out our day. You all come into the comments. Let's get some likes and subscribers. Marlon, listen, love you, man. I will catch you soon, all right?
No problem. Thanks. See you
later. Take care, bro. See you in a bit. Right, let's get straight back into some comments, shall we? JGR, mate. Hello, mate. we need a starting wing back either side, a starting left back, starting centre mid, and a backup striker winger. Yeah, I mean, yes. I've got no way of disagreeing with you on any of that. This is where the silly comments come. Cess has pocketed Salah twice, can be a backup going forward. This whole nonsense of pocketing a player. When Spurs played Liverpool the other night, Salah had so much of the football, he put Sessegnon on his arse and Sessegnon had to pull his shirt back and get a yellow card. The reason Salah didn't score was because we had 10 men behind the ball, not because Sessegnon was brilliant at marking him. It's this, I just don't understand. If fans like you think players like Sessegnon are good, then great, but don't ever want success at this club. You're not getting success with those players. And yeah, absolutely. Party after party. Okay, what about the rest of the other teams? It's okay to pocket a player when you play 10 men behind the ball. When you're not playing 10 men behind the ball and the player actually has to think about their positioning and they can't rely on just having 10 men with them, that's when you see how good or bad a player is. And for me, Sessegnon is awful. I'm sorry. Completely agree, but it's Sess and Emerson too, and one other, I think. We have no players. It's not good. Yeah, I worry. If those two are here next year, which I'm sure they will be, I do worry. Leaf and Burnley are a pain in our asses. Yeah, they do make life very difficult. Can I just ask, going back to the subscriptions, who hasn't subscribed? Lots of work that goes on, and when you ask people to subscribe, they just ignore you. Phil President, big up Marlon and Savva. The documentary show just involved Levy is with the football club and is a control freak in every aspect of the club, goes missing in action when it comes to the transfer window. Mate, I just don't like him at all. I don't like him. Everything he's doing is for ENIC and Levy to make lots of money. And when they sell up, they're going to make billions of pounds each. And they're going to leave us with not having won anything, but fans going, "Oh my God, look at the stadium. And oh, we got to a Champions League final once." Just this loser's mentality. Both horrible fans can both go down. I guess we're talking about Leeds and Burnley. Oh yeah, forgot to add, we need a competent backup goalkeeper to Hugo as well. Yeah, look, this squad needs so much. Let's have a look. Where are we sit? PB and Jam, hello, brother. Norwich on a minus 56 goal difference. Listen, any team on a minus 56 goal difference, we should not be worrying about one man not playing. No, we shouldn't. If we lose to Norwich, we are a disgrace. Savva, some of these fans don't have the joy of a trophy win. I've witnessed Spurs win a league title, 6 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, 3 European. 4th means diddly squat unless it leads to trophy. Listen, I agree. 4th for me is, I keep saying it, it's a platform. For the younger generation, it's a trophy, and I don't understand who's drilled this into their heads. Yes, and yes. Whenever I've watched him play, this guy just causes havoc. Watch him, then watch the likes of Royal, Sessegnon, Doherty, and Reguilon. This guy is the real deal. Yep. Cheers, Marlon. Marlon's a great lad. Please like and subscribe to him. He's a great, great guy. Not sure Levy spent 50 million plus again after Ndombele, but I might be wrong. I don't think he has. Once was enough for Levy. It didn't work, and being the guy he is. Get questions in, guys. If you want me to keep going, I'm going to keep going until about 25 past. So 20 minutes. Keep the questions in. Which player in the bottom of the table will you take? Just asking. Which player in the bottom half? Or which player... if we're talking about from the team bottom of the table, I don't think there's anyone from Norwich I would take. I'm just trying to think who else went down. Watford, maybe Sarr in the squad. Burnley, I would take Tarkowski on a free. I think that's a no-brainer. Leeds, I would take Calvin Phillips or Rafinha. I'd take Ward-Prowse. I think he'd be invaluable in the squad. I'm just trying to think who else is down there now. I mean, chuck some names at me. Let's see. Tom Ripley, the bridge is a piece of shit. I just say Levy. I mean, I don't even know what that means. Savva, do you want Brian Gill to be a Spurs player next season? I've got nothing against Brian Gill. He looks like a very talented player. But to me, looks like one of these footballers, and hear me out, everyone, before I say this, he looks like one of these players who's a talented footballer, like Ndombele is, but with no output as a player. It's all right looking pretty, but if there's no output, then not for me. But look, he's young. Let's see what happens if he does come back. Where does he play? I don't know. I don't know. Josh Gracie. Hello, Josh. Where you gone? There it is. He has said, Kostic is a must for me. Brilliant player with the end product creativity needed for the wing back. Yes, this is my point. All of these fans, right? I get all the same fans that will tell me Conte's the best manager in the world, right? And this is the best system in the world. Still want Sessegnon and Royal. If you want to play and really love Conte's style, those two wing backs have got to be brilliant. They have got to be able to get back, get forward, cross, pass, score, the full shebang, like a Hakimi. They've got to, like Reece James, Ben Chilwell, like these sorts of players. I don't think Arsenal will ever get top four because Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, Conte, Ten Hag will be backed. Great times ahead. I mean, let's hope so. Let's hope that's the case. I think for Spurs, it's important that Arsenal keep Arteta as a manager. What we don't want to see is Arteta goes and they actually bring in a Simeone or someone like that, and all of a sudden Arsenal become a different prospect. Kostic is available for 15 to 20 million. Cucurella is available for 25 to 30, but he's Premier League proven. Who would I go for? I'd go for Kostic. From what I've seen, I think he's excellent. But I'll be honest, and I'll lay it on the line right now. If Cucurella was bought, I would like that as a signing. I think he, to me, looks like another one. Composed, comfortable on the ball, can pass, gets forward, can cross. Look at him, then look at the likes of our players, and it's just a no-brainer. Gill needs to be loaned out like Mount, James and Gallagher. Yeah, maybe Gill does need to be loaned out. I mean, I've seen Gill out on loan at, what is he now, Valencia? And again, I think he's played like 17 games for them in all comps and got 1 assist or something. So again, it's what's the output of this guy? That's the thing for me. We want to defend these players, but what's the output? Coach Silva, with the amount of work the squad needs, I expect us to keep Doherty and Sessa's backup. Just need first-team players ahead of them. I'll be honest, I would rather Reguilon as the backup. I'm not saying that will happen, but I just don't rate Sessegnon at all. Doherty, I'm happy with as a backup, but he can't be our starter. Conte just said Kane should be ready for Sunday. Yeah, I mean, this is where people like Alistair Gold just get so trigger happy. It's, oh my God, have you heard this about Kane? Let's release a statement. All right, cool. We can all do that. Party after party has said Spence, Cucurella, Kostic, Dybala, Bastoni, Johnston, Levy will deliver this summer. Party after party, first and foremost. I mean, you have no way of knowing that. No one does. If he did deliver those players, then, you've sorted out the right wing back, the left wing back. You've sorted out a creative player, a left centre half, and a goalkeeper. So I'd be happy with that window. I will wait and see. I don't believe that will happen. We'll be 60 by Sunday. Yep. Gavin Ross, it will be so Spursy to lose to Norwich. I think it'll be the end of Spurs if this happens. Look, as much as I even used to have a podcast called a Spursy podcast. I can't see it. I can't see it. But there's still 99% of me is, we've got Champions League. That 1% that niggles, yeah. Tom Ripley, 4th is the Arsene Wenger Cup. But Tom Ripley, you just told me earlier that 4th is all you want. So that shows your mentality. Do you think Spurs will compete for the league? Not a chance. I think fans are getting way ahead of themselves. Let's have a little look at the league table. Just having a look. Standings. Man City are on 90. Man City are 22 points ahead of Spurs. Can I see Spurs closing that gap on Man City and Liverpool? No. You've got to have a squad, and we just simply don't. We don't even have a good 11. We've relied on 4 or 5 players, mainly Son and Kane. Last 12 matches for Kostic. Goals free, 4 assists. Yeah, that's the sort of wing back you want. You don't want Emerson Royal. Our fans who want Emerson Royal and Sessegnon, I want to revisit this with you when we actually buy 2 proper wing backs. And then you can say, yeah, we were wrong. Sky Sports have made top 4 things. Subscribe to Marlon's channel. Thank you for subscribing to Marlon's channel. He worked really hard to get content out as well. I think a lot of people do. And again, I've had no subscribers in the last half an hour, which is disappointing. But what can you do? Sky Sports, yeah, they have this whole Big 4 race has just become a thing with the younger generation. Again, it's only good if you act on it. Dybala, I take. Richarlison, I can't stand as a human being, as a footballer. He is not for me. He looks miserable. His attitude is terrible. He isn't for me. Let's have a look. Leeds goalkeeper is a backup goalkeeper. I'd be honest, if we were bringing in the Leeds goalkeeper, I'd make him my number 1 because how long's Laurie's got? But yeah, I can't see that happening. But I do like him. He's young, but I like him. He's good. We'll see. Levy better not mess around. Conte will give Levy tries for Papasar and Brian Gills this window. We either get players we want or Levy gets exposed. True Blue, I've been saying this for 20 years, and Levy never gets exposed because so many fans love him and tell us to be grateful. Yep, heard this a lot as well, so we'll see. Looks like he's off to Inter. It's a no-brainer for him, really. He stays in Italy. He goes to a team who are challenging for a title. This is an interesting one. This name gets thrown around a lot. Riddle Baku for right wing-back. I've seen Baku a few times, and he looks decent. I'd like to see him more before I go, oh, yeah. But we'll see. I haven't seen too much of him, so I don't want to be one of those fans who goes, oh my God, he's amazing. Yes, and yes. We don't have any footballers who can pass a ball. We don't have any creative forces. We don't have anyone that can spread the ball. I'd take him all day long. We need to build a squad. Ken, I would suggest that you've never seen Kostic play then. I've watched him play 5 or 6 times this season, and every time he's really impressed. And he is a much better footballer than Reguilon. If you're looking at the stats, he's ideal for Conte. Yep. Norwich City eating cheese pizzas before their matches. Okay. I don't know what that means. Maybe I've missed something. Brian Gill was homesick and he will do his best to stay in Spain. Look, again, I didn't understand the signing of Brian Gill when we made it. It felt like a weird signing for a club that needed centre-backs, for a club that needed full-backs, for a club that needed strikers and central midfielders. It felt weird that we went for another kind of left-sided forward when we already had Bergwijn and Son that could play there. Again, just no fault went into that signing from Paratici and Nuno. Savva, which do you prefer from Bremer? I never know how to say this guy's name. Gvardal, Ndicka or Bastoni, or maybe 2 out of 4. I don't know too much about Ndicka, if I'm honest. I've seen the other 2 play, and they both improve us immediately. Bastoni is very good. Whenever I watch Inter Milan play, he just looks like a rock. But yeah, listen, I can't imagine that any of these are worse than Dyer or Davis. So, yeah, bring them all in. As Kostic has been scouted proper, or are we just on a hype train? God knows. This is the thing, isn't it? I don't know. I'd love him to come in. I don't even know if we're in touch with him or not. We need someone like Pedro Porro at right wing back. Do I agree? I don't really know. If I'm honest, this is a player I don't know anything about. I don't want to be that guy that sits here and lies. I watch a lot of football across Europe, but I don't know every player across Europe. I don't really know him. Can you tell me a bit more about him, Johnny? I actually think we can surpass Chelsea. I was just looking at the league table. So for us to surpass Chelsea, we've got a 24 plus 24 goal difference. Chelsea have got a plus 62, 40. How? I don't see. How do we surpass Chelsea? We need to win like 25-0 or something, don't we? Or am I reading that wrong? City's bench is better than our 11 and fans think we'll challenge for the league. And I think this is it. This is the problem. When our fans think that Conte will get a good 11 and that will be enough. But this 11 is going to have to play Saturday, Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever. Saturday, Wednesday, cup games. You've got to have a big squad. Got to have a big squad. City's bench is a myth. I really don't think it is. I wasn't saying I want Cess. It just seems Conte prefers him to Reggie. Yeah, no, I agree with you there. He does seem to like him, but I don't rate either of them. That's just me. I'm going to go for another 10 minutes. Hi, Savva. Do you think Real can beat Paul in the final? I do. Look, Real Madrid can beat anyone on their day. It's going to be a good final. I don't think Liverpool are in form. Benzema and Vinicius Jr. are. I really hope they beat them, if I'm honest. It's not that good. It is. He's talking about the City bench. I never believe in any signings till they're holding up a shirt. Me too. Dybala said he's not coming to Spurs. I don't doubt it. Why would he? What's the pull? I want trophies. I'm just not delusional. Delusional how? I'm the one that doesn't think we're going to win trophies. So why am I delusional? No, I like Sarr. I'd take Sarr all day long. Very good goalkeeper. Our best season since Poch left. Congrats, Conte. Okay, yeah. Okay. I mean, this has been a really poor league this year, so I'd be very disappointed. Hi, Savva and Mods. Everyone watching, hope you're well. Savva, we're a better team than Arsenal, United and Chelsea. Well, we're not a better team than Chelsea because they're above us in the league, so we're not. Again, just common sense. Yes, I would take Jed Spence, but I'd also like us to sign someone better than Jed Spence as well. An untried right wing back in the Premier League. I was just looking at Jed Spence. He doesn't seem to create a lot. And I just think, again, in our formation, we need that, right? Joe27, big up, Savva. Always enjoy listening to you, mate. Surely we ain't going to Spurs this up. I don't think we will. Bone Stark, Sav, if we look at the table since January, we'll be 3 points behind City and Liverpool with Newcastle fourth. We must back Conte. Yeah, I've got no doubt about it. We must back Conte. I've said this for 20 years about managers. If Levy is going to leave, what kind of owner do you want? I just want an owner that just goes that little bit extra. I'm not talking about oil money. I'm talking about when you've got the chance to buy Skriniar or Rodon and you buy Rodon. When you've got the chance to pay 5 million extra to get Grealish and you don't. When you've got 10 million extra to get Bruno Fernandes and you don't. We could go on and on and on. I just don't like how it's run. How far do you think you're going to Champions next season if you had to bet on it now? Look, I'm going to caveat this because otherwise these predictions come back to bite you. It's at the moment we'd get absolutely murdered because our team is not that great. We get some good signings in, who knows? But again, we need a lot of signings. So I'd be just happy getting to the knockout stage would be good with this squad. But that changes over the summer. Who will finish higher in the next season, United or Spurs? I'd like to think Spurs. United are in a mess. I can't see how much they can do in one window, but stranger things have happened. Just look at the difference between Spurs and Man U in this 12-month swing. So who knows? Spurs will get to the semi-finals of the Champions League bare minimum next season. Okay, I don't know what we're basing that on, but okay, cool. If that happens, good. Kostic can't defend, neither can any of ours. Let's have a look. I'm going to rattle through these in the next 5 minutes. You're so negative about everything. See, Park Lane, yeah, the problem with trolls like you is you misinterpret negativity with realism. If you actually listen to what I'm saying, I don't think anything's that bad or anything's that great. It's fans that just go well overboard with everything. Well overboard with everything. Yes, Tom, Ericsson spent some time on the bench under Conte, but look at the squad he had at Inter Milan. He doesn't have those options at Spurs. Use this a bit. Use this. It's not hard. No, sorry, mate. I meant Chelsea in terms of league position. What do you mean this season? We can't finish above them, can we? Because of the goal difference. Is that what? Oh, right. Okay. For next season, I mean, look, it all depends on what plays out with Chelsea, doesn't it? And their owners and who they buy, and they got players like Gallagher going back. And let's see. It's too early to say it before the end of the season. Why do you want Liverpool to lose in the final? To be honest, the Liverpool fans are just so annoying. It's just so annoying. And Yeah, I don't know. I just find them really not you. Look, it's just I've got a lot of friends who are Liverpool fans, and they're so over cocky now that it's just annoying. And I like Madrid. So yeah, Romero confirmed to miss the Norwich game. Yeah, I think we knew that. That's fine. Pedro Porro plays for Sporting, just sold from City. A Cancelo type player. I will make a point of going to have a look at him. Singo I've seen play. I quite like Singo, but I will go and have a look at Porro. Reguil on his arse, I'd rather keep Cess. That tells me a lot about what you know about football, Ken. Sessegnon is dreadful. I just want the Poch years back. Yeah, I like going back to an era where we didn't win anything either with a really good team. Well done. That shows everything. Savva Few, what's the bare minimum that Spurs need to do in the summer? Centre-back, right wing-back, left wing-back, central midfielder, playmaker, striker. I don't know. The list is endless. If we had content from the start, we'd be ahead of Chelsea, no doubt. Again, if you're on, ball should be your uncle. Who knows? No one knows these things. It's a guess. Savva, you're an armchair fan, though. Park Lane Yid. Do you know what? I've spent in the last 30 odd years of going to Spurs, I've lost count of how many thousands of pounds I've spent. Yeah. And I'm just so fed up with Daniel Levy charging what he charges now that I don't want to pay my money. Now, I'm not an armchair fan because I do still go. I've got a lot of friends that can get me free tickets at Spurs. So, again, if you're going to come on and just try and be a big man and be clever, you can just crawl back to the hole you came from. Thank you. Thank God we never got Bruno Fernandes. The guy is a bum. Ken, you don't really know football, do you? If you look in the last 3 years at Bruno Fernandes' goals and assists, the figures are astronomical. Again, this shows, everyone, this is the problem with our fan base. Because the players don't play for Spurs, they're terrible. But yet fans like this rate Sessegnon. Let's have a look. Park Lane Yeats, what an idiot. What an idiot this guy is. Who is this guy? Is anyone friends with this loser? Bruno is wank. Is Bruno wank, right? Let's have a look. Again, you guys, you trolls don't seem to know football, do you? It's embarrassing. Let's have a look at Bruno Fernandes at Man United. In his first year, 14 games, 8 goals, 7 assists. Last year, 37 games, 18 goals, 12 assists. This year, 35 games, 10 goals, 7 assists. I mean, that's over 35 league goals. Yeah, and over 25 assists. I mean, have a day off. What? No, because you think Sessegnon's better than him. That's worrying. Yeah, again, you're getting carried away. To finish top 4 and get FA Cup and a deep Champions League run, we need a squad. We have to go and get a squad. Does anyone agree with me on that, or are we just going to see fans that are happy clapping? It's all well and good. Fans like this will tell me that I'm negative, but you can't just say, "Oh, we'll have this, and that." Based on what? What's the evidence? Right, get in your last few questions. I am gonna go. Get in your last few questions. I'm gonna go for 2 more minutes. Tommy Ladlow, I would love the Bastoni rumours to be true. I just don't believe any rumour until I see them holding the shirt. 2 and 2 put together. He played for Conte. Spurs need a left-sided centre-back. I really, really, really would like him. Have you not seen how shit Bruno has been? Don't look at stats from a couple of years ago. The whole thing at Man United is a mess. But Bruno has done something that no player has done for Spurs for 3 years from midfield. 35 goals, 25 assists. Have a day off. Right, I'm going to block you, Park Lane Yid, because you're just being an idiot now. Thanks. Have a great show as always. Thank you, Coach Silver. Apologies, but some people don't understand football. It's really difficult when people are really biased. It's difficult. We don't need a squad to compete. That makes no sense. Agreed. It's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. We have fans that think Bruno's been a bad buy for the Premier League and Man United, but they think Sessegnon and Royal are good players. It's madness. I don't know who Mustafa Guled is. Savva, what do you think of Paratici's spinning plate method of targeting players? Look, for me, I don't care what the method is. The proof is in the pudding. When the players sign, if they're good, they're good. If they're not, they're not. Let's be a look. Thoughts on Foden and Gallagher being nominated Player of the Year over Son for PFA Player of the Year? I mean, I don't really have any thoughts on it at all. If this is voted for by the players, then that's down to them. Don't be a stat merchant. Listen, I'm not a stat merchant, but you're saying an attacking midfielder that's come in and scored 35 goals and got 25 assists, 60 goal contributions across 3 seasons is excellent. We don't have anyone near that, and you say that we wouldn't want him. It's embarrassing, Park Lane Yid. You probably rate players like Roden, don't you? You like Roden. I bet you think Skip's generational. Yeah, you probably think that Bergwijn's great. Savva, we beat a great Arsenal team 3-0. Why are you negative? See the progress under Conte. I mean, so there's so many things about this. What have I said that's negative? And which great Arsenal team did we beat? I haven't seen that. When did we beat a great Arsenal team? I worry about Tottenham fans so much. Guys, hit the like, subscribe. Also, Savva, if you need mod, mate, let me know, bro. Take it easy and see you on the next one. Lee from the Lane, do me a favor. Can you message me in the comments after the show? That would be good if you could be a monitor. Bruno cries more than a newborn baby. Okay, but look what he does on the pitch. Would I take Tsimikas? I'd take Tsimikas over Reggie and Sessegnon for sure. We had Ericsson, who was miles better. We bought Lo Celso that summer. He was the better player at the time. But why was Lo Celso the better player? Based on what? Park Lane Yid, you're one of these. You can't see past your Spurs tinted glasses. You're an embarrassment. Bruno has weak mentality. Coming from a club that have the nickname Spursy. Bruno is crap, but Dele will not come back his best. Bruno isn't crap. This is... sorry, guys. We've got to be sensible football fans. It's easy to just go, he's crap, he's crap, he's crap. Bruno's had 3 years that his stats make him show you he's been very good. He may not have had the best of years this year, but Man United is a mess. Party after party, please feel free to go away and don't watch my show. If you're saying I'm never happy, it's because I'm realistic. I'm realistic. Fans like you say, we're going to get semi-final of the Champions League, win the FA Cup and top 4. But based on what? You can't answer. Fans like you never actually, look, I bet you do not respond to me right now with an answer as to why. What evidence is there to say that will happen? Please tell me. Same fans will be complaining when we haven't won anything again next year, despite saying we don't need investment. Tommy had this through the Poch years. Who will sit on the bench behind Kane? Who will sit on a bench behind Ali? Which centre-back's going to come and no, they're not going to play? Yeah? It happens all the time. Apologies, the dogs are going to go mad. I'll stay on for a little bit longer. I will just not read out the silly ones. The great Arsenal team that went on to lose 2-0 to Newcastle. Right, again, we've got fans calling calling this a great Arsenal team. If this was a great Arsenal team, they wouldn't be fifth, would they? Great Arsenal teams are like the Invincibles. Sorry, my dog's just knocked something over. Who will win the league next season? Man City by a country mile. Paul, yeah, I know you were mocking our fans. Sorry, everyone. If the noise is... Yeah, Graham, who used to do my podcast with me, has just walked into my house. He has a key to my house, just walked in. So that's it. He's going to go walk behind. There's Graham. Ken 11, Bruno spends more time crying than playing football. Now, Ken 11, let me ask you this, right? If you truly believe that Spurs wouldn't have been better off without Bruno Fernandes the last 3 years, then where is your head been stuck? We've had no creative midfielder for 3 years. No midfielder that can score a goal for 3 years. I don't understand how people like you get by day to day. I don't understand it. Johnny B. Good has said a lot of chatter on strikers now. Which one of Isaac, Nunes, Jesus, Lautaro would you take? I'd take any one of them. Let's be fair. I think Nunes will cost a bomb. Lautaro Martinez is going to cost you 60, 70 million. Isaac's not going to be cheap. I'd take anyone. We just need some strikers at this club that aren't Harry Kane. We need some more strikers. Thoughts on Dele's magnificent performance against Palace last night? Is he back? I mean, this is everything I hate, Nicholas, about football fans. Dele Alli had a good 45 minutes. The first good 45 minutes he's had in 3 to 4 years of being a footballer. And we say, is he back? It's a disgrace, the man. The man is a disgrace to professional footballers. Savva, we have not progressed, but we got top 4 and we are behind Champions of Europe by 3 points. I didn't say we haven't progressed under Conte. I didn't say that. I'm not sure where that comes from. Yeah, we got top 4, but again, Nelson, I've said, for me, it's not a trophy. The top 4 has to be a platform. Graham, you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, the top 4 has to be a platform on which we grow. The top 4 now needs to be Daniel Levy, Joe Lewis, and Paratici going, right, we're now at this level. We need to buy players, not down here, up here. Park Lane Yeards, this guy's an absolute troll, isn't he? All Man United fans want Bruno to go. I bet you're fun on a night out. Park Lane Yeards, I mean, it's football. Anyone who has a night out with me will know that I like to have too much fun on a night out, actually, and get in trouble with the missus. So don't give me all that nonsense that that I wouldn't be fun. What a weird thing to say you are. Party after party, world-class manager Conte. What's that an answer to? You've just said to me, party after party, we will win the FA Cup, get top 4, and get to the semi-finals of the Champions League next year. Tell me why. Don't just say Conte, because Conte needs the players. Sorry, Graham's chuckling away in the background because some of you fans are so deluded to win the cup, to sustain top 4 and to go deep into the Champions League, which means 2 games a week, every week for 9 months. We've got to go out and add 10 quality players to this squad. We just get too excited. And then when a fan like me tries to bring a dose of reality, oh, this guy's negative. This guy's negative. He hates Spurs. Son is in the PFA Player of the Year, but not the PFA Fans Player of the Year. Well, people will vote. Let's have a look. We aren't Man City. We can't pay that kind of money to quality players just for them to sit on the bench. Right, Park Lane, I'm not reading out any more of your comments. You are everything wrong with this club. Who said we're Man City? Stop, Park Lane. You're embarrassing yourself. Tom Ripley, because we are a world-class counter team. What's that a question to? Nicholas, why are you dismissive of Liverpool challenging for the title next season? Everyone wrote them off this season. Look at them now. Nicholas, you asked me a question who I think is going to win the league. And I think Man City will win the league next year. They've just added Haaland and Alvarez to their striking options. And their squad's not going to get any weaker. So I can't see you challenging them. If you challenge them, great. But you asked me who's going to win the league. I said Man City. If that offends you as a Liverpool fan, you shouldn't have asked the question. Dave Clark, happy weekend, Savva. Thank you to you, Dave Clark. Thank you. Just in the comments of this show on YouTube, mate, afterwards, not in the comment section here, the comments actually on the show on the YouTube. I love this. Park Lane Yeard, we 100% can. Why? We are a football club if we can't pay player wages. Agreed. Now you know this guy's now you know this guy is a troll because he's saying, are we forgetting Scarlett? What, a 17, 18-year-old that's done what? What are we forgetting? I don't want any player from that toxic Man United team. Yeah, but Ken, you also think Sessegnon's a good footballer, so your opinion doesn't mean a lot to me. Yeah, I don't think it was Paratici with bad signings. He had a list Levy chose. I think Jan showed how it would work with Conte. Well, again, I will say the jury's out on Paratici for me. It's all well and good going and bringing players that you've already bought. What do you do when you have to look outside of that? Who can he get from the Premier League, for example? Tom Ripley, Dele is a striker. We stuck in midfield and moan that he doesn't perform. Well, I mean, first of all, how many things are wrong with your sentence? Dele Alli is not a striker. What a weird thing to say. Wherever Dele Alli has played, he has looked awful. This fan base, you know my favourite saying, guys, most of you have the club you deserve. I'm sorry if you don't like the truth and you don't have to watch my show, But most of you have the club you deserve because you rate the Sessignons and the Delis, Dane Scarlett. What is wrong with some of you? David Rollo, this Savva dude, go and get a job, bro. I'm sure you are hungry. Dovod Rello. I mean, first of all, that's not a name, but thank you. I do have a job. I probably have a job that pays me a lot more than you get paid, mate. But good luck. Good luck. Conte has a poor record in Europe. Listen, again, this is why people are getting too carried away, Paul. People need to relax. First of all, for us to compete in Europe, we're going to have to go and get a squad. And it hasn't happened yet. We just get so excited. Party after party. It's Friday and you're angry. I'm not angry. I just like comments I like fans like you that just, you don't have any substance to your points. Thoughts on pitch invasions? I think it's disgusting. I think that it's morons that ruin football like that go to games and you see dads running on with their kids to the pitch, to players. I mean, you've got to be some sort of idiot. How many clubs have top quality players on the bench? All the clubs that win things. Didn't see Dele last night then, would love him back. Park Lane Yid, I mean, you sir, are everything wrong with our football club. He has been crap for 3.5, 4 years. Where did I say Cesc was a good footballer? You said you'd keep him. Why would you keep him if you don't think he's a good footballer? You asked why the fans think we can do well in the Champions League, and answer because we're a great counter team. Tom, we're good on the counter attack. That doesn't mean we can do really well in the Champions League week in, week out. You need better players. Ken, I'm not making anything up. You said you'd keep him. I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. Okay. Good. Lee from the lane, mate. Listen. I just laugh when I get fans like Park Lane in the comments. It makes me realise why the club is where it is. It makes me realise that fans like that just have failure written all over them. They love bad players. They belittle every good player that plays for another club, and they think that we're the best team around. Where will Dele be next season? I think he'll be at Everton. You don't know Sessignon's ceiling. Stop writing off young players. Sessignon's been with us 4 years. He's not a good footballer. If you think he is, great. Can all these guys jump on the show? I don't know what that means. But I'm sure you can't afford food because you're jobless. I mean, I could take you for a little wander around my huge house with my huge garden. If you think I'm jobless, yeah. Or you could look me up on LinkedIn. You could see the job title I have. Wow, what a weird guy you are. Dele is a striker. Watch the season when he was great. Second striker, you don't know ball. Tom, the fact that you say you don't know ball tells me you're a troll. Dele Alli is an attacking midfielder. He is not a striker. He is also very poor at football. Ken, you'd keep Sessegnon as a backup left wing back. Okay, again, if you want to keep players like Sessegnon, great. I have more ambition than you then as a fan, clearly. Garvin Ross, Savva is the league owner of Spurs. I mean, look, Lee, again, an honest fan that people don't like honesty, Garvin. People do not like honesty in life. I think when Graham and I did the show a few years ago, Graham will back me up on this. I had fans coming onto my show going, you don't know ball. Lo Celso's better than Bernardo Silva. You don't know ball. Joe Rodon's going to be better than Fofana at Leicester. All these types of things. And it's the Spurs rose-tinted glasses that people cannot see past. It's really weird. Park Lane Yid, yeah, he's definitely son over Salah. It's silly. Dovod Rolo. Sessegnon is a great youngster. I mean, I can't. I don't know what to do, Graham. We've got fans that think Sessegnon is a great youngster. He can't pass. His tackling is awful. His positioning is awful. He's weak. He can't beat a man. What's he great at? Again, fans like you've got the club you deserve. If this is the club you want, you've got it. You've got it, mate. And I'm not angry. I'm just laughing. It's funny. Thoughts on mainstream media? Do you think they have an agenda? I don't know. It depends on what subject. I don't know. Can you give me a bit more context around what you mean? Just block the idiots. Oh, they're too funny though, Coach Silver. They're too funny. They ruin a great stream. If they're ruining it that much, all right then, Savva. Let's see your gaff. You live in a flat, G. Flat. Yeah. See, look. At the end of the day, I want to talk Tottenham Hotspur. If fans like you want to get silly, then I will block you. One more comment like that, and I will block you. It's ridiculous. I don't live in a flat. There's nothing against anyone who does live in a flat. This isn't what this channel is about. So just calm down. Talk football, eh? You don't think Doherty is a good player because you said you would keep him, just using your logic. I think Doherty is a much better player than Sessegnon. Yes, I do. I would keep Doherty because he's proven he can do it in the Premier League before. He was coming into form before he got injured, and I wouldn't mind him as a backup wing back. Do I want him in my first 11? No. So I make it make sense. Savva, most of these fans would be happy with fourth every year and no trophies. Richard Knight, of course they would be. They've not seen us win anything. Oh, Mustafa, no, I mean, cool. All the guys that hate you appear on the show. Mustafa, right? If I said right now that any of these can come on and talk to me about football, all the ones who are telling me that I don't know ball, watch all of them shit themselves and not come on. Park Lane Yid, no picture. He won't come on. Ken 11, no picture. He won't come on. They're all welcome to come on. If any one of you wants to step up right now and come on and talk to me about why Ryan Sessegnon's a good player, as to why we're going to get to the semi-final of the Champions League, plus win the FA Cup and finish top 4. Come on to the show, have a debate, use your words, let's contextualize it. I know people don't like context though, Mustafa. You just said I don't know ball, so you are also a troll. I was using your words back to you, Tom. That's called sarcasm. No, party after party. Listen, toxic, pessimistic opinions. There's a difference. What I'm saying to you is, and this is where you can never answer. Great. Okay. Let's say I agree with you. We're going to finish fourth. We're going to get to the semis of the Champions League and win the FA Cup. So now I'm asking you, break it down for me. Why? The answer isn't content. It can't be one word. What are we going to put in place this summer as a football club that is going to make all three of those things happen? Break it down for me. Context. Use words. Can't just say world-class manager. Great. World-class managers need players. So break it down for me, because toxic positivity is biased. Nicholas Hijack, Van Dijk or John Terry? Oh, I'd like to see them together. Both world-class defenders. I think Van Dijk's got it easier. I don't think he's playing against top strikers every week. I think John Terry's era did. I think a lot of you will be, that'll be harsh. A lot of you will think that's harsh. But John Terry was playing against top players week in, week out. And guys, we are dropping off in 7 minutes, by the way. Okay, Ken is a troll. Potland, as a podcaster, be balanced. You're breeding negative energy. What if the players see this? Like, first of all, I can tell you, Potland, I am balanced. This is the problem. Fans like you just want to be positive about everything. I'm balanced with it. Second of all, I can assure you that Ryan Sessegnon is not going to watch a podcast from me. And I'm sure if he's worried about my podcast over what journalists might say about him, then we've got a problem. Positive toxic fans, absolutely, Lee. Savva, you don't support the players. When I'm there, I support them. My opinion on the players is different. The question I would say to you, Dovod Rello, is if we have podcasts, if we have football shows, and everyone thinks every player is good, and you only have good things to say about them, where does the debate come in? Where's the debate? Where's the fun in that? You can't just say, support all the players. So if I sat here and went, really love Sessegnon, I love Roden, oh my God, Harry Winks is brilliant, Royals, what's the point? It's not the truth. David Rollo, Sessegnon is not a youngster anymore. I mean, he's been at Spurs for 4 years and he's done nothing. He's terrible. It's bad and I have standards and I want to win something. And players like Dyer, Sess are not the quality to take us to silverware. I agree. Ken Levin, I'm not contradicting myself at all. Tell me how. Let's say, last one on Spurs and Callan have poisoned the fan base. Yeah, because everything's positive. Everything is just, we are great. We are great. It's great, great, great. If it was great, we'd win things. I'm at work, unlike some. Well done, Ken. I'm at work. I'm working from home. So what's your point? Savva, but your knowledge of football is atrocious and people like you need to shut your mouth. Okay, David, you are being blocked because you're not here for any good reason. I don't understand. You've not come to join in, have you? Park Lane Yid, I don't go to games. Yeah, okay, I don't go to games. Many people have seen me at games. So, again, you're being silly. Got to grow up. Jose said Sessegnon can be the next Ashley Cole. I mean, okay, is he the next Ashley Cole? Is he? Harry Redknapp said England would win the World Cup. Did we? No. I mean, come on. Look. Right. Park Lane Yid is getting blocked as well because, again, he's just here for a wind-up. Everyone is a troll, says a lot about you in the audience. Okay, Ken, you don't have to watch, mate, because you're ruining it now. You don't have to watch. Why are all these guys defending Sessegnon, Doherty and Emerson? They're all rubbish players. Mustafa, because if you don't back these players, it makes you a bad fan, and these fans want to be seen as super fans. It's sad, really. Would I take Kyle Walker back without a shadow of a doubt? Look at how far we've fallen. We've gone from Walker to Trippier to Aurier to Doherty to Royale. The fall off has been immense, and that's why when fans back Royal, that laugh from Ken says it all. Yeah, look, do you know what's funny, Lee? Is look, it takes time to put things like this together and to put all this content, and then you just get people, that ruin it for others, and they don't want to talk football. They don't actually want to join in. They just want to troll. David Thompson, guys, we've got 3 minutes left. Thoughts on the Norwich game? Kane may miss. I'm not worried. If Kane misses the game, he misses the game. If we can't beat Norwich without Harry Kane, then you have to ask, do we deserve top 4? Do we deserve to be going Champions League football? I think we've got way more than enough with Son, Kulusevski, Bentancur, Romero, whichever one plays out of Bergwijn and Lucas. I think we've got enough. What do I think about people who change the team they support? I mean, up to them. I mean, I guess it's fine as long as you go lower down the leagues. I would never change the team I support. I've been told too many times, but I would never. I don't understand why anyone would. Royal is possibly out for Sunday, says Steve Fuller. Lucas maybe at right wing back. Why not? I don't see the harm in it. It's Norwich. Doherty is a bit like Dele. He was played in the wrong position, and many fans said he is shit. I mean, Dele Alli has played so many years and in the right position. Playing in the wrong position doesn't mean you suddenly forget how to control a football and pass it. That's my big thing. He couldn't even do the basics. So I wasn't expecting him to be putting up 18 goals a season, but his all-round game, he never got better. And I think sometimes as fans, it's okay to say that, right? We get youngsters that burst onto the scene, and if they're good at 19, 20, 21, we expect they're going to go on to be world beaters, and everyone's generational and they're the best player ever. But some players, they just don't progress. And for me, when I watch Dele Alli, he doesn't look like he's got an engine on him. He looks awkward. His control isn't good enough. He looks disengaged. For me, look, fair play. If he has a good year next year with Everton, I've got nothing against him. I just don't think he's a good player anymore. Emerson possibly out Sunday. Yeah, I don't care if he is or not. I think he's a dreadful footballer. Where am I messaging you? Lee, so after this show finishes and you go onto YouTube, there's like comments you can leave about the show, not the comments that are live. So if you just go there, mate, and then I think you need to leave me a pin or something so that you can be a moderator. And then in the next shows, any idiots you can get rid of for me during the chat. Because there's so many good people, and thank you. There's so many good people who chat with me on YouTube afterwards. They join in the show. And there's just a handful of 3 or 4 that don't really contribute a lot. And they're just trolls with made up names and stuff. Right, we've got 1 minute left. David Thompson agreed we have enough to win. Yes, we do. I nicked Dele as a striker from the Athletic, so it's not so ludicrous. I don't care what the Athletic said. Dele Alli is not a striker, has never been a striker. Perfect. Party after party has said Spurs win 3-0. Son 2 goals and golden boot. Happy days. I don't care about golden boots. Let's get fourth done. If he gets golden boots, that's just a bonus. The key thing for me, again, get top 4. Let the owner show some ambition. Let's see how we go. Lee, thank you, mate. Aditya, please give your list of 7 to 8 players who are linked to sign, maintaining 8 homegrown players. That's 25. Aditya, if I was to sit here now and give you 8 players that I want Spurs to sign, it's just pie in the sky. We're linked with about 40. So I don't know. Last question I'm taking. Do you think Dele did enough in his early days to be considered a Spurs legend? No. Glenn Hoddle is a Spurs legend. Paul Gascoigne is a Spurs legend. Gary Lineker, Waddle, Ardiles, Villa, Mabbott. These people, Ledley King, these people are Spurs legends. Harry Kane will go down. Not Dele Alli. Not Dele Alli. Anyway, listen, thank you very much. We're going to leave it there. Thank you for all the sensible people. For all the silly ones, I'm sure we'll see you again on the next streams. Keep it real. This is me signing off from my flat, as someone said, and I will see you. I will be live with Henry on the Spurs Corner Sunday night. Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.